Gemini, as a sign, is known for being quite active. It likes to do several different things, more than one thing at the same time. Very flexible, versatile, gets bored easily. Okay. That's not the vibe of this particular, or that's not the theme of this particular next 30 days, or next 30 degrees of Gemini. I would say probably the most obvious thing is you'll be staying at home. It doesn't seem to be an out and about socializing unless you're doing it at home. It seems very much an indoor type of. The next 30 days seems to be a bit more of an indoor situation. Okay. What you will find though is it's actually really good for thinking about what really drives you. Okay. The major the dominant energy of this Gemini month of Gemini is introspection, looking inside, transformation, um, connecting to your unconscious, looking at what motivates you. All of these kind of internal drives. Excuse me. That's really where this energy is. And a lot of that will be happening behind the scenes, which again is not very Gemini. Because for me, Gemini energy, and I'm talking mostly like sun sign and personal planets, Sun, Mercury, Venus, is it's very dynamic. It's very obvious if somebody's a Gemini or has Gemini signatures in the chart. Oh, that's another thing I should mention is what I'm talking about with this Gemini energy. It's not just for sun sign Geminis. So if you have a copy of your chart, look to see what planets you have in Gemini because that'll also be affecting you in those particular areas. And also, if you have a time chart, you can see what areas of your life by house. Okay. So yeah, this is a very internal season. Um, that's the overriding, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of flexibility. I would say there'll be quite a bit of rigidity in terms of how people are thinking, usual flexibility. So you may find that conversations that you generally know how they work, that are quite straight ahead, will be a lot more solidified. There'll be less kind of give and take. You'll also find that you may be feeling somewhat nostalgic and talk to people that understand your point of view. So it doesn't seem like it's a very exploratory time. And look, I'm not telling you to become a hermit. I'm just saying that the themes or the energy of this upcoming 30 days doesn't seem to lend itself to that. And look, it very much depends on what's going on in your natal chart. But what I'm looking at is overall trends, which don't necessarily apply to everybody, but it's out in the air, and if it doesn't affect you, you'll still see it. So that's what I'm trying to do is make you aware of what's going on around you. Okay, all right. It To tell you the truth, this is just something that just dawned on me. Is it's almost like a mini Saturn return, where there's a sense of taking inventory, evaluating yourself, looking at what you've done versus what you have. Um, but in this particular case, it doesn't seem to be from a financial or even personality point of view. It's more of aspirations and wishes, and I think that's actually quite important. Okay. And even though things are sort of slow or there's not a lot of movement, you'll find that people are emotionally quite 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 changeable. So mentally they'll be fairly fixed, but emotionally they'll be changeable. So if you're observant, you'll find this dynamic interesting where the person will hold on to an idea, not change their mind in the face of new information, and actually react very emotional to it. And look, you might see that in times when it's not Gemini season, but I think it's actually going to be a bit more pronounced now. Okay. What also adds to the mix of that, excuse me, what adds to the mix of that is people going to be particularly touchy. So usually you're going to find that people have a lot thinner skin. And if you criticize what they're doing, they may react a bit more strongly than usual. So again, this isn't everybody, and it depends on what you have in your natal chart. But I'm just saying this just to be aware that that's a possible dynamic for the next coming 30 days or so. Okay, what do we have here? So I was saying that you'll stay home more, but you may visit other people in their home. So that seems to be where the movement is. So there may be kind of these almost like roving house parties where you decide that every weekend you're going to go to a different friend's house and all your friends are going there. So it's kind of a combination of going out while still staying in. And it's kind of nice because basically it means if you've got a few friends doing this, you each kind of get to have your friends over in your home, and then it's just it'll add some energy to your home. That's a big thing. This is a time for you're adding energy. And I would say that if you started any type of new project or you're thinking about starting something new, you're initiating something, and it's within the last, just give me a moment here. Yeah, so in the last month or so, um, it's a really good time to start. And it's a good time to think about it. And thinking about it isn't procrastinating. I just want to say that as well. So, and that's the problem I think with this the Gemini energy or the way that we see things is you have to be really dynamic. You have to be moving. You have to be on the go. No, you don't. You don't have to be on the go all the time. And if you're on the go all the time, you may not either enjoy what's happening or you're going to get exhausted, right? Or it could be that you're just going to the next thing, right? So a little bit of time of reflection is good. So ironically, this Gemini period is a period of reflection. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the first week, uh, and we'll see what kind of influences we have going on there.